skill-oriented approach to this. So the fourth and a final module that we designed is basically broken up into two parts, which is field study and experiential learning. In the first part of that fourth module, what we plan to do is to arm the participants with the concepts of EI and SIA. And end of that knowledge base building up, we're going to take them to the field, which are partners in North South University and CNRS, and we're going to ask them to utilize those skills in the field. And hopefully at the end of that trip, they're going to come up with a report and submit it to us. Now, our original aim was for 25 participants. Now, till now we've got around 12 because I was discussing this thing with President Love and ourselves. Somehow or other, the concept of environmental governance is still very woolly down here. So maybe next year we're going to change it to environmental management so we can attract more participants. But I can well assure you that the 12 participants we have got one PhD holder having a PhD from UK-based university, and I asked him, why do you want to come? He said, no, environment is not my field, that this is something, a value addition to my career in the long run. Interesting, all the participants, 12 participants we have, all professionals, and we hope to have a very exciting time with them. Thank you very much.
May I now request Mr. Mukhlisur Rahman, Executive Director of the Center for Natural Resource Studies, CNRS, to introduce CNRS's role in the DGCB project.
We are very happy to be part of this project because we believe that we need educated people, but that education should be blended with the field experiences. Because what is taught in the classroom, the theories, and what is there in the field, what is in the policy, all policies are very good. We always review the related policies like wetland leasing policy, the environmental policy, the water policy, all are very good. But if you go to the field, you will see a reverse situation. The process is a problem. And that process, basically where the governance is instrumental. In this project, we will largely support three areas. One is we will provide the field level support to the students, the postgraduate students, for 3 months or even more, to in fact to make them acquainted with the field situations, the problems, the issues. So that's one area that we provide the support to the graduate students, postgraduate students at the field level. And the other is, we are in this project, we will develop some multi-stakeholders governance platform at the central level. That could be a kind of inclusive governance platform where people would come, share, discuss, debate on environmental governance issues. There, CNRS will provide field level the hard evidence of environmental governance issues. And also through our experience, we will support developing the environmental policy, making policy papers, and policy influencing issues.
May I request Dr. James Garner, Emeritus Professor and ex-Vice President of the University of Manitoba, to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. I'm actually retired from the University of Manitoba now, so I feel somewhat like an imposter. But nonetheless, I was involved to a limited degree in the early stages of the development of this project when Dr. Haq had the idea, and he talked with colleagues here in Bangladesh and Dhaka, and the seed grew from there. And after a very extended period of proposal writing and rewriting, we were fortunate enough to have money granted from CEDA, and the University of Manitoba acknowledges that and thanks CEDA once again for its support. And the project has come to life, and now we're beginning to see some results with students registered in the master's degree program here at North South University. So this is President's office views this with great pleasure and hopes that the project will continue to grow, and hopes that the capacity building that is going on here in Bangladesh will continue into the future as this project eventually University of Manitoba is a medium-sized Canadian university. It's a comprehensive university. And for many, many years, it's been involved in international development and capacity building projects around the world, but most particularly in East and Southern Africa, in South Asia, in India, Pakistan. There have been earlier projects in Bangladesh many years ago, projects in Sri Lanka and China, mainly in health sciences, infectious diseases, public health, agricultural sciences, water resources engineering, and other practical fields. And it's with some pleasure that we see the environmental management, resource management field starting to enter into the international development game, insofar as Canadian universities are involved in helping institutions and individuals and organizations in other countries develop capacity to manage environment, undertake environmental governance in a manner that helps sustain resources into the future. So for me, it's a great pleasure to be in Dakar for the first time. It's 4 o'clock in the morning for me. I should be getting up and eating breakfast soon. But here we are, 6 p.m. in the evening. I've talked long enough, and therefore I'll just say thank you. Thank you for the hospitality, and thank you all here in Dakar for the support that you've given the project and the people from Canada who work on this project.
May I now request His Excellency Robert McDougall, High Commissioner of Canada, to say a few words.
Distinguished guests, distinguished special guests, distinguished honored distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, if I've left anybody out, please forgive me now. Assalamu alaikum. These programs will be launched today under a project funded by CEDA titled Building Environmental Governance Capacity in Bangladesh. The project will be based on a partnership for development whose Canadian cooperate will be the Natural Resource Institute at the University of Manitoba. The NRI has a proven and solid reputation for linking the environment, the economy, and social well-being since its inception in 1968. A holistic interdisciplinary approach to natural resource and environmental management is pursued in all NRI programming, in teaching, in research, and in outreach. The same approach has been introduced by the NRI in developing the new Environmental Studies program here at North-South University. In addition to assisting in curriculum development, the NRI will provide professional development to the Environmental Studies faculty at North-South. NRI faculty research grants will supplement doctoral research costs of SU staff and other relevant training. All going well, the new program will contribute greatly to meeting demand in this country for qualified individuals capable of addressing environmental issues as policy planners, as civil society leaders, as private sector executives, and as local community representatives. It is our firm belief that collaboration between the two universities and other groups, as expressed in the program they have developed together, will prove invaluable for Bangladesh in developing that cadre of professionals essential to meet this country's growing list of critical environmental needs in a sustainable manner. In leading up to the Copenhagen Climate Change Conference in December, meetings are taking place this very week in Kathmandu, in Geneva, in New York, and in Bangkok. The launching of your program, therefore, comes at a most auspicious time. In that context, let me express my certainty that your program will continue to contribute not just to national efforts here in Bangladesh, but also to international efforts to resolve this global problem as well. In conclusion, let me thank you again for inviting me to be with you for the launching of this great, exceptional program, and I wish you every success. Honored Dalabat.
May I request Professor Jamila Reza Chaudhry, Vice Chancellor, Prague University, to say a few words.
We all know, those of us who have been born and brought up in Bangladesh, now we are facing one of the biggest challenges, environmental challenges. The population pressure coupled with extreme poverty naturally leads to a lot of stress on our resources.